welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I just have another haul video of something that I recently purchased to add to my stash. Intents to make some upcoming holidays like Mother's Day, card kits with these, or cards in general. And then also I have two children that are in school, and I always like to make something for their teachers, so some teacher appreciation things. Also some things that I've wanted to try and just kind of put off purchasing because they're not necessarily like fun things. So we'll talk about that in a second. So first thing that I have here is this Altenew set. If you've been to my channel before, you know that I really love Altenew and Pink Fresh Studio. Those seem to be my two favorites. Right up there, Simon Says Stamp, and then I kind of have very few and far between in my stash from other companies in there from there. So another Altenew stash or stamp set. So this one is the Build-A-Garden Rosa Gallica, which I believe the Build-A-Garden is their kind of newest subscription as of filming this, which is in February of 2023. So this one, I just loved these big, large florals, and they have the dies for the U and the happy. And I have those in here. And then all of these really small, but very simple, not super thin line sentiments that you can build with the U and the happy. So you can make happy wedding, anniversary, you make me happy, happy hello to you, so happy for you, you are enough. Sometimes we need to hear that. Just for you, I adore you, you amaze me, you are the best, you are wonderful. Like sometimes we just need to hear some of those encouraging sentiments. Happy day, like those are just really wonderful. And then like with all of the Altenew products, so I did purchase the die and I did purchase the simple coloring stencils as well. But as with all Altenew stamp sets, they come with this really wonderful insert. So they usually give you card inspiration, and you can actually cut these out and use them. I have a tendency not to do that. I usually like to just be able to use them for inspiration, but they will even tell you what colors they used, and if they bring in different products, like on this example down here, or they'll give you ideas that pair really nicely with it. They're really good about giving you ways to shop their store, which is brilliant marketing, number one, but also may pique your mind as to, okay, well, what do I have in my stash currently? Or do I have these particular other Altenew stamp sets, other Altenew products that I can go ahead and pair this with that maybe I forgot about? So they're just really good about helping you give you a full and complete inspiration and guide. So I do have the color layering stencils, and so in this one you do end up like having to kind of turn these stencils, and there are multiple things that it colors on each of these stencils, and they're really good about saying, okay, this has 4 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things on there. These are the 6 different things on this particular image that this will color. That's just really helpful for me. I'm a very visual person, and so I find things like this very helpful. And again, this is just kind of the back of it. Sometimes in order for me to actually get this to fit into my storage system, I do have to kind of chop some of this bottom part off, but I have what it is up here, so that's not the end of the world. But like I said, I did purchase the stamp, the die, and the color layering stencil. I like to have those options. I am not huge into like marker coloring or watercoloring. I really have discovered over the time that I enjoy ink blending, and so all of these companies coming out with like ink, simple stencils and things like that is really helpful for me. That if I want to watercolor, if I want to use my alcohol markers, I can, but more often than not, I always reach for their stencils. So that's that one, and that just gives you a lot of options. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe with their Build-A-Gardens, you do have to purchase them as a bundle. This one actually did come with a mini ink blending tool from Altenew also. And I do believe that these come as a set. You cannot like purchase things separately. So I couldn't, if I just wanted the stamp, I couldn't purchase just the stamp. You have to purchase everything as a complete set, if I'm not mistaken. So that's something to keep in mind. But like I said, I enjoy having the options. So that's the first one. I have an aunt on my husband's side that absolutely loves sunflowers. And when I saw this stamp set, I immediately thought of her and for Mother's Day. So I purchased this, and I will probably make some Mother's Day cards for her. She isn't really big into sending out like actual cards, but that's okay. Sometimes it's just good to be thought of. So this is the Simon Says stamp Sunflower Fields, and I have the stamp and the die. So I really love these sentiments in here, this mix of fonts. I really enjoy that. And very like basic sentiments. Forever my friend, missing you, sending you sunshine, thank you, get well, hello. That's really, if you also need some like basic sentiments and you like a mix of fonts, this is a good one for you also. My only complaint about this one is I wish there was a die to cut out this large sunflower. When I purchased the coordinating die, it only cuts out these two. And I think just an individual sunflower. Let me pull that out and double check before I lie to y'all. So it cuts out all of those sentiments, which is really nice, but it only cuts out, so it'll cut out all of these sentiments, which, don't get me wrong, I am a huge fan of that. I have tried to fussy cut my own sentiments and it looks like a train wreck. So I am very appreciative of coordinating sentiments and a die. However, I really do wish that there was a die to cut out this large floral. I really do. At the end of the day, this is probably not terrible to fussy cut if I just kind of follow the outline of the stamp. But again, I like to have the dies just because I like to have the dies. So this only has a die for this and this floral, and then all of the sentiments. So that's something to keep in mind. It even has the dies for these sentiment-like strips. So that's something to keep in mind. I do wish that it had that big die, but maybe in time. It also comes with a color layering stencil, which is fabulous. Again, you know that I love those. And so I really like having options. And this does have these stencils. There are 4 stencils in this set. So main florals, like the floral centers, and then, 2 for the greenery. So now that may not seem like a lot. I know that there are some stencils out there that have like 5, 6. I think I've seen one that had, I think the most I've seen is 6. However, look how detailed this stamp is. I mean, it is crazy detailed. So having just 2 colors really is plenty when you have this much detail in the stamp set itself. So that's something that I've found out over time, is when your stamp set is super detailed like this, your color layering stencils don't have to be. As opposed to this one, where there is a lot of open space, you can get a little more detailed and have more stencils for this one, as opposed to this one that doesn't really need it because the stamp itself is so detailed. So that is the Sunflower Fields stamp set from Simon, and that I have the stamp die and color layering stencil. Another one is this one. This is a beautiful, huge magnolia. This is Thankful Magnolia from Simon. I did purchase the die with it. It does not have a color stenciling or color layering stencil. Otherwise, I would have got that too. But it does have this large die. And I recently watched a video from Jennifer McGuire where she was making shaped cards, and she used a, was it Spellbinders? I think it was Spellbinders like delightful tulip, something like that. I put it in my shopping cart because I wanted it. Tulips are my favorite, but she was making a shaped card using like a floral die. And so I intend to kind of draw some inspiration from her and do something very similar with this one. I think that would be beautiful, and so we're gonna give that a go. So, but really large, like thank you, thankful, grateful, with gratitude. I appreciate you. A nice mix of fonts. So thankful for your kindness. Those would be beautiful together, and play well off of each other. Thankful, can't thank you enough. And you could always like do some creative masking and mask out this thank you and put this in its place. And then you could use this one with it. But I did purchase the die that goes with it. Would be a good one for me to practice my alcohol marker coloring. If I wanted to color, but I didn't want to tackle something like this, because to me, to alcohol marker color something like this is intimidating, even though it's really not, because again, this stamp set is incredibly detailed. But just kind of looking at the detail, my mind thinks that I have to put that detail in and plays tricks on me, whereas this one seems more manageable. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe you are the opposite. If you're the opposite of me, tell me in the comments below. Like, no, this one seems crazy intimidating. This one seems doable. Like, let me know in the comments below what kind of how you go. But anyway, I think this would be a good one for me when I want to practice, because there's a lot of open area. It'll give me a chance to practice blending. So, and that's something that I kind of struggle with. And just because this is a magnolia doesn't mean you have to color it like a magnolia. You can color it however you please, because it is your creation and you can do what you want. There are no magnolia police. So there's that one. And again, I have the stamp and the die. So this one is the Simon Says Stamp Poppy Field Stencil. So, and this is a perfect example of someone breaking the rules. I think it was Amy R. from Prairie Paper and Ink. I think she stenciled these in a rainbow, and it was so, so pretty. How they are pictured on the website, on Simon Says Stamp website, is reds, and a very poppy color. But this is 4 stencils, and each of the leaves is like a different stencil, and then you have the greenery and the centers. This would be a good time to break out with your mini ink blending tools to get those flower centers so you don't get the greenery black, or whatever color you're using for the centers. But I intend to kind of take some, this is a perfect one to take some creative license. I don't know if you can see that, kind of how it would look when all those stencils are layered together, but it's actually really pretty. Poppies are not my favorite, but when I saw her color those in rainbow, I was like, man, that's really pretty. I really like that. Plus, you can do it in regular poppy colors. You could do it in whatever colors you want. You could even do the flower centers in like a glitter paste or a gel, for some dimension and shine. So this is a really pretty one. And again, I really like stencils. And if this is one that if you wanted to go back and add more detail with like a colored pencil or an alcohol marker, you could definitely do that. There's enough open space for you to accomplish that. Just a really pretty versatile stencil, and I'm excited to get to use that. So remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that there were some things that I had been wanting to try, but they're not exciting like these. So if you've watched some of my videos, I have a fine tip bottle here that I use to glue like sentiments and that kind of thing together. But that is always messy. I mean, even if I'm super careful, it's always messy. And if I ever use like a specialty cardstock is the top layer of something I'm putting together and stacking, I inevitably always get glue on that top layer, and it just mars it and makes it look messy, not professional. And where I am not Hallmark, I also would like to take some pride in my work. So I purchased 2 types of adhesive sheets. The first one, as you can see, is from Altenew. This is their double-sided adhesive sheets. This is adhesive through the whole thing. So I do have I'm not sure where it's at, but I do have a Xyron sticker maker. And my biggest complaint with that is that even when I run it through, my die cut image or whatever, if it's an intricate word, like glue strings are in the middle, if that makes any sense. Now, it's not a big deal to get those out, but it is a pain in the butt and it does take some time. And so it'd be easier if I could just die cut that straight out and stack it together like a sticker. Plus, I have some things upcoming, some ideas upcoming in my Etsy shop that I think I'm going to need these for, and these will be very helpful. But these are the Altenew ones. They didn't say what size they were, but I had a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and these are not the same size. I think these are narrower but taller. So, I mean, that's not a huge deal by any means, but that's something to keep in mind. I will say that when I pulled these out of the package, they have an odor. It's not insurmountable, but they do have an odor. But I've seen Jennifer McGuire and several other crafters use this with great success and seem to really, really like them. And it has seemed to replace some previous like double-sided adhesive sheets that they were using in the past. So I'm excited to give those a try and see if I can actually have what's in my head for my Etsy shop come together with these. So there's these, but I also purchased the microdot sheets from Simon. Now these are 8.5 by 11, and that's why I said like the Altenew ones are a bit taller, but thinner. And these are like what they say. They are dots of adhesive all the way around. So if I forget to just go ahead and die cut something from those Altenew sheets, they're a complete sheet of adhesive, this is a good option because you won't get those like stringy glue boogers. It's the best way I can describe it, in between like intricate details, because it's dots. So, and these dots are only going to stick to where there is actual paper. And so I'm excited to give these a try. And I also like that these are made in the US. That's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that. So, like I said, there's only 8 sheets of these. There are 10 sheets of the Altenew ones. The Altenew ones were like $15, $16 for a pack of 10. I think the Simon ones were like 10, 12, something like that. They were several dollars cheaper. So also something to kind of keep in mind. But this is something that is what I've been wanting to try, just isn't fun. And so I'd kind of been putting it off, but I think it will be helpful. So that is the Simon Says stamp haul. But I also found via good old Facebook a new company, and I just wanted to kind of give them a try and see. I looked through their website, and they had Pink Fresh and a few other companies that I do like their products. And so this is scrapbookpal.com. And I just wanted to give them a try. I had heard that they had really great shipping, super friendly customer service, and were cheaper. And they were. So I believe this particular stamp set was like $1 and some change cheaper than anywhere else. And another thing that I absolutely love about this scrapbook.com is I hate paying for shipping. And I kind of feel like if I'm going to drop a certain amount of money, like $50 or more, I kind of feel like I should get some free shipping. I may be wrong. I may be, feeling entitled. I don't know. But with any $50 purchase or more, you get free shipping from this company, which I really, really like because I feel like shipping costs have gone banana balls. And I really don't enjoy paying for shipping because that saves me another stamp set. I mean, at the end of the day, like when I pay for Simon Says stamp shipping, I could have purchased another stamp set or a stencil or an embellishment pack or something else with my shipping cost. And so to get free shipping is pretty phenomenal. Plus, I did not order this. They sent me this in a glassine bag, like a, what's that name of, like, it's a gauzy type bag. Somebody can tell me in the comments below, I'm sure. But they sent this to me for free with my purchase, which is pretty awesome. I always kind of like getting, you know, fun extras. So, because I have an obsession, this is Pink Fresh Studios Floral Trio. I did purchase the stamp die and stencil. And the die actually cuts out these two here. This one you can just use like a regular sentiment banner and square it off. But this one, it has this die and then these two. And I am excited to give this a try also. I think there are 5 stencils. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 stencils. Now, I think it was Carissa Wiley, if I'm not mistaken. But she used this particular one, and she actually stenciled these flowers in 3 different colors. And it was really pretty. I love her color combinations. She has some of the most beautiful, like, fresh color combinations. And so I do plan on kind of going back to that video and just kind of drawing some more inspiration, probably, you know, mimicking her color choice because it's so good. Here's the die, and there are the 2 coordinating stencils that are dies that cut out those sentiments. So that is the Floral Trio from Pink Fresh Studio. And then I already had the Pink Fresh Studio stained glass die and hot foil plate. But if you watch my video where I actually use this, I thought there was a coordinating stencil, and I was right. So they actually, this Scrapbook Pal actually had the stencil, and it was like almost $2 cheaper, if I'm not mistaken, than anywhere else. So again, awesome deal. This is only 3 stencils, but I again love to have the option. I believe it was Laura Basson that used these stencils, and she did like a really pretty rainbow color scheme, and it was really pretty. So again, excited to use that, and she used the foil plate, not the die. So excited to use that. And so far really pleased with that company. I don't feel like it shipped to me super fast. I did read some comments where somebody said that they ordered theirs on like a Tuesday and got theirs on a Thursday. Mine was not nearly that fast, but it was not any slower than when I pay full price shipping at Simon and have to wait to get it. So, free shipping, I will take any day of the week. Like I said, it's another stamp set or a die or something fun. And so far I was really pleased. Like I said, it didn't take me too terribly long to get it, but it wasn't like 2-day shipping either. So, but their stuff was, some things were like 40 cents cheaper, and other things were like $1, $2, $1 and some change cheaper. So that's just something to think about. That again was scrapbookpal.com. They are based out of Utah. So that's just a little haul that I have. I appreciate you sticking with me and spending some time with me. And until then, we will catch you on the next haul video. Bye.